At exactly 4 a.m., the sirens began. Not loud enough to scare you, not loud enough to wake you up, because no one was asleep. They never were. The sound crawled through the city like a reminder rather than a warning. Low, metallic, unavoidable. It vibrated through walls, through floors. The lights followed. Ceilings shifted from warm amber to sterile white as scanners activated, measuring movement, breath rhythm, eye dilation, searching for the one thing that no longer belonged to humans. Stillness. I was already standing when the scan passed over me. Everyone learned to stand before the sirens finished their first cycle. Beds had been illegal for 12 years. So had couches. So had anything designed for comfort longer than 90 seconds. 90 seconds. That was the legal limit for stillness. Anything beyond that meant intent. Intent to sleep. Sleep was immoral. That would have sounded ridiculous. Instead, they said it was inefficient. A biological flaw. You don't need sleep, the broadcast said calmly. You need regulation. At first, people believed it. Why wouldn't they? The transition happened slowly, politely. First came the supplements, then the implants, then the laws. Neural timers were installed behind every ear, monitoring brainwave activity and delivering sharp corrective pulses whenever the mind drifted toward rest. The pulses hurt at first. Eventually, you stopped noticing. That was the point. There was no morning anymore, only time blocks. I checked the wall display in my apartment. Block 17, contribution period. Work began in 6 minutes. The city outside my window never slept because it never stopped moving. Trains glided endlessly. Walkways looped people in gentle circles when they had nowhere to be. Screens flickered on every surface. Walls, sidewalks, windows, even the sky, feeding us information, color, noise. Silence was dangerous. Boredom was suspicious. Stillness was criminal. I put on my jacket and stepped into the flow of bodies, each one moving just enough to prove compliance. That's when I saw her. Platform C. She was standing completely still. No swaying, no screen, no micro adjustment. Just standing. Her eyes were closed. People passed her carefully, like stillness might spread if they got too close. Some looked afraid. Some looked angry. I knew the scanners would catch it. I also knew that noticing and doing nothing made me complicit. I hesitated. 3 seconds. That was all it took. The drones descended without sound. Restraints snapped around her arms as her eyes opened, not in panic, but in relief. She smiled, and before they took her away, she looked straight at me and said something I hadn't heard spoken aloud in years. I was dreaming. Dreaming. The word cracked something open in my chest. I couldn't remember my last dream. Not a specific one, just the feeling of it. The drifting. The sense of being nowhere and everywhere at once. They said dreams were hallucinations. They said dreams caused emotional instability. They said dreams made people remember things they weren't supposed to. I filed the incident report as required, but the rest of the day felt wrong, like I was walking half a second behind reality. I worked in data continuity. My job was to monitor behavioral streams and flag anomalies, patterns suggesting fatigue, slowed response times, repetitive movement, early signs of micro-sleep. Ironic. An alert flashed on my console. Anomaly detected. Subject, you. My own data scrolled past my eyes. Reaction time delayed by milliseconds. Eye focus drifting. Thought loops repeating. Nothing serious. Yet. I swallowed another stabilizer. It burned going down. The feeling didn't leave. Officially, sleep was banned for efficiency. Unofficially, it was banned for memory. People who slept remembered things, like how time used to feel slower, like how emotions used to arrive in waves, not static, like how silence once meant peace. The last sleepers were called the drifters. They claimed sleep showed them patterns, connections hidden beneath constant motion. They called sleep a place where truth waits. The state called it rebellion. I found the room by accident, a glitch in the data stream, a maintenance quarter that wasn't supposed to exist. At the end was a door with no scanner, no camera, no light. I knocked. The door opened. Inside were 6 people and a mattress, an illegal one. They spoke quickly, 15 minutes each. No more, no less. Enough to remember, enough to wake up. When it was my turn, I hesitated. Sleep felt like stepping off something tall. I lay down. The mattress was softer than memory. At first, nothing happened. Then darkness came, not empty, but deep. I was a child again. The sun was warm. Time didn't matter. I woke up crying. 15 minutes had passed. I had never felt more awake. Once you've slept, the world looks wrong afterward. Too fast, too loud, too hollow. People moved like they were chasing something they'd forgotten. Sleep hadn't made us weak, it made us human. That's why it was illegal. The broadcasts interrupted everything. Unauthorized rest detected. They had found the room. I watched the feed as security stormed in. 5 people were taken. 1 resisted. The girl from Platform C looked into the camera. She closed her eyes. That night, my alert returned. Anomaly detected. Subject, you. I didn't correct it. I sat in my chair and stayed still. The sirens began. I closed my eyes. They were wrong about sleep. Sleep isn't laziness. It's resistance. A rested mind remembers freedom. And systems built on endless motion cannot survive people who know how to stop. For the first time in years, I slept